It's the Wickersham Leader Show with today's episode, Deja Vu all over again. Oh wait, I forgot. I'm not here. Just give me a minute. Yeah, it won't take, sometimes it takes me a little bit to materialize. You'll just have to bear with me for just a second. Sound so excited. Well, I'll explain why my apprehension / lack of excitement exists in a moment. It's just gonna... Look. This game is kind of in its own... This game is kind of just got a lot of weird, like, stuff going with it. Well, not that weird. It's more of its lack of weirdness that's the problem. I need a drink. Of water, of course. I didn't have water ready yesterday, so I didn't drink any water until I was done. I was in the thick of it. Ugh, goodness. There we go. Alright. Alright, welcome back to our countdown to Bonanza. Last time we did Donkey Kong Country 2, and this time we're going to be doing Donkey Kong Land 2. This game is really just here. It's got very little to talk about it that makes it unique. It's got very little to discuss that makes it even interesting to discuss. It's not offensively bad. It's not incredibly good. It's just kind of here. So let me show you exactly how little there is. So, oh, hold on. I thought okay, thanks. There we go. Might as well talk about the GBA ports in these streams, since these are like port number 1 followed by port number 2. Yeah, no, I will be talking about the Donkey Kong Country 2 port today. I'll be talking a little bit about that. So first of all, Donkey Kong Land 2 is a game that has nothing going on in terms of its development. There was no stories about anything. Nobody really talked about anything. And here's why. The game takes everything from its console counterpart. Its plot is exactly the same. I thought they actually came up with a stupid reason why everything was the same. Nah, they didn't even do that. The plot's exactly the same. The environments are exactly the same. The enemies are exactly the same. The levels are all named the same, with an exception for like 3, because they couldn't get the original gimmicks to work on Game Boy. All of this game is really just a really stripped down version of Donkey Kong Country 2. Now, it's not a port, because the levels have original level designs, but it is very similar to the original game. The only interesting thing I have about this game is that in Japan, it's called Donkey Kong Land. The first game was called Super Donkey Kong GB, and this one's called Donkey Kong Land. Let's take a look at some of those advertisements. I might get in trouble for this one. I mean, I remember hearing this one all the time at sports stadiums. But this game released in 1996, so the Game Boy was already really old news by the time it came out. So I'm shocked it actually got this much information. I mean, Donkey Kong Land 3 is gonna get even less, but this one it kind of existed.
Some of the hottest news in the jungle this year.
And this is a bit from E3 1996.
In the new Donkey Kong Land 2, Diddy's Conquest.
Oh yeah,
Game Boy and Super
the game
Game
originally
Boy.
had the subtitle Diddy's Conquest, like the console version, but they dropped it because they didn't want people to think it was the same game.
Game Boy games ever. Donkey's in big trouble, and it's up to Diddy and Dixie to
Pokemon was
him.
98, but Pokemon was Pokemon was an incredible like lightning in a bottle situation for that thing, because the Game Boy was really old by 98.
Donkey Kong Land 2, Diddy's Conquest, is bound to be one of the top bananas for Game Boy and Super Game Boy this year.
Plumbers, rabbits, mazes, monkeys, demons, dragons, evil, jungles, puzzles, barrels, bombs.
Stick it. Stick it in your pocket. Stick it.
Sweat, swim, run, panic.
I mean, 98 was also the year The Color came out, wasn't it?
Boy, pocket. Stick it. Stick it in your pocket. Stick it. In pocket. Stick it.
That's a terrifying commercial.
Voir à la caméra.
Voir la caméra. Donkey Kong Land 2 sur Game Boy et Game Boy Pocket.
Oh, yeah,
Maintenant,
so-
le héros-
C'est Diddy Kong.
So the show wasn't out yet. It would actually release the following year, but it looks like that they were in pre-production and they got the studio to make the French version of the commercial. And all it's saying here is Diddy says, "Say goodbye to the camera,"
Voir à la caméra.
and then DK says
Voir la
goodbye to the
caméra.
camera, and
Donkey
then
Kong
he
Land 2
disappears.
sur Game Boy et Game
And
Boy
that's it.
Pocket. Maintenant, le héros.
C'est Diddy Kong.
And it's like Donkey Kong Land 2, except this time Diddy Kong's the star. We got a print ad here based off of that one American commercial, and another print ad that I could find in German. And that's about all I could find about this game. Not a whole lot going on here. I suppose before... Yeah, we'll do the... I suppose before we begin, though, I will finish up talking about Donkey Kong Country 2 on Game Boy Advance, because I forgot to mention it yesterday. So allow me to very quickly switch this out. I'm sure... Alright. Oh, that's... Give it a second. There we go. Yeah, I gotta replace the battery in my GameCube. La-di-da-di-da. No, just leave it. Doesn't even know the disc is in it, does it? My GameCube's been on the fritz lately. Okay, well, there is a disc in there. So stop freaking out. I gotta have my GameCube looked at. It might just be this disc. To be fair, I haven't tried any other discs lately. Well, now it's working. You can tell because it's thinking. Come on. Oh, you jerks. There we go. Just needed a second. I just breathed on the disc. Anyways. Oh, that's not right. Eject that disc. Eject that game pack. I've never seen that happen. There we go, that's better. Ugh, and here comes my thing. There we go. So, the Game Boy Advance version of DKC2, getting this one done real quick before we move on. Firstly, turn that down a little bit. Yeah, let's take a look at the actual game itself. So, you've got the same things that Donkey Kong Country 1 had. Oh. Are my buttons just not gonna cooperate now? Everything's going wrong. Well, firstly, we've got a brand new map for every level, for every area in the game. Every single area of the map has been redesigned. I've already gotten everything. It saves your tokens. That's nice, at least. Oh, yes, it's very bright. Are you kidding me? This controller I bought that's supposed to specifically be for the Game Boy Advance stuff isn't cooperating. Alright, fine. I'll use my regular GameCube controller. Oh. This one's not cooperating either. It's not reading... Well, that's a new one. It's not reading L or R inputs. That's weird. Never had that happen before. What's the... How you playing LAN? On Super... I'm playing it on the Switch. Okay, so L and R work here. Does it... Is it read... It's reading L and R as me pressing select for some reason. I've never seen that before. Why is it reading L and R as me pressing select? Oh, that's why. Okay. Good. That's on my fault then. Alright. First of all, we've got, now all of Wrinkly and Cranky's hints are kept on this menu. I didn't buy any of them. And she also, but she does give you homework, which is this. It's the scrapbook. Every time you finish a page in the scrapbook, you unlock a DK coin. Which is all well and good. Same thing as before, but at least they bother to label them. And I don't think, unlike... Yeah, I don't think they have any new ones, unlike the Donkey Kong Country one. We can summon the... So we don't have the biplane barrel anymore. We have the gyrocopter, and we can summon that from anywhere. And every single area of the game has been completely redesigned. So you might have noticed that there is a little icon next to the hero coin on the map. That is a ostrich feather. Those are found in every level. I don't really have a way to show them off right now. They're not... I already collected all of them. So... just letting you know that they're there. What they do, though, is that when you go to Cranky, in addition to the hints he usually has, now he has a real reason to go visit him. He has Espresso here. And you can use the feathers to power up Espresso for your races. So I can take them all away and reallocate the stats however I want. And when you're done with all that, you can actually participate in races. And every world in the game has one. Well, every world that has Cranky in it. So, not the Flying Croc, but every other level does. And you can get little power-ups. You can get a bird seed, which gives you a speed boost. This is a neat little mode, at least. At the very least. It's not really hard. I mean, especially since I have a fully powered up espresso. Basically, once you get espresso fully powered up, nothing can touch you. The feathers let you do a little flap, but you don't need to do flaps. Excite Shrike. Hey, good use of a unique bird at least. Oh yeah, I guess you can't see it here because I already answered all the quiz questions, but when you go visit, Swanky, you get teleported to a different area when the time comes to, answer the questions, and Candy is there as a showgirl, so Candy appears in this game, unlike the original. And since Funky lets you use the gyrocopter from anywhere, he's got a new minigame. And there are these little gyrocopter missions that each level has a different one. I'm not going to show them all off, but they're actually pretty fun. Gyrocopter was in 3. It was in 3. This one's real simple. All you gotta do is just fly through loops. But we got new music, and it's not a bad tune. And then you have to land very carefully. And you get a hero coin for completing the minigame in every level. So I have 55 coins, so I can actually show this off. So there's like two new major new things here. Firstly, you've got Clubba. When you go visit him, in addition to his normal options, Enter Lost World, Fight, you can play Bag-a-Bug, which is a minigame that has kind of no purpose. You don't need to play it to get anything, but you run around this small arena while Clubba chases you, and you pick up bugs, and you try to see how many bugs you can collect before time runs out or Clubba gets you. Weird little game. He can't get you here, but that new model they used for Clubba is not really doing them any favors. It's kind of bland looking. Oh wow, he actually got rid of all of my bugs. Battle Network added some weird minigames where base chases you around like that. Interesting. Yeah, you don't get anything for beating him, so there's kind of no reason to. The other thing that you can do, though, is when you go into the Lost World, when you go into the Lost World, now instead of you being able to visit one level at a time, it's now a giant loop of levels that unlock as you progress, which is very nice. I actually think this is a much better way of doing it. And then, of course, Crocodile Core is in the center. And the other big notable change for story mode is that when you reach the top of K. Rool's Keep, Stronghold Showdown has been changed. It's no longer just simply a... It's no longer just simply a room where DK gets taken away. Oh yeah, every time you replay a boss, you have to pay 10 coins. Not a great change. I prefer not that. Anyway, you get this new boss named Kerosene. And the new death jingle, depending on which Kong you died as. Unfortunately, every time you do this, you have to pay 10 coins. So if I run out of attempts, well, them's the breaks. But it was Zelda Rupees probably just wanted to add something to use the coins on. Probably. Anyway. He's not a very interesting boss, and he looks terrible, so... he's really not that big of a deal. They keep track of all the stuff you've done. Which is all very well and good. Unlike the first game, you don't actually have to get all of the Kong letters again, thankfully. All you have to do is just... get the feather and the DK coin in the bonus barrels. And that's mostly it as far as the story mode is concerned. But you can also play the bonus games whenever you want from the main menu. And you can also play Diddy's Dash, which is a game mode in where you, it's a game mode in where you just try to beat the levels as fast as possible. Which is all nice, I guess. And that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, that's Donkey Kong Country 2 on the GBA. Now we go back to Donkey Kong Land 2. Which, I've decided that I'm actually going to be doing this in kind of a cheater's way. We're going to start off by playing the game normally, and I'm not going to bother with getting collectibles or anything like that. Instead, when I reach the end of the main campaign, I'll switch to my completed file, and I will do the Lost World and the final boss from there. So, it's all hunky-dory. There we go. Now we're doing Donkey Kong Land 2 properly. There's my 100% file. I actually did that 2 days ago. So yeah, but... so the only main difference between this game and the original is just the level designs are slightly different. Level designs are different. Some of the music is missing. You've got... of course, you obviously don't have both Diddy and Dixie on screen at the same time like before, so there's no new team-up maneuvers. And, overall, the game... Can you turn it up? Yeah. How's that? Lives are once again represented by hearts on the bottom of the screen instead of anything sensible like a number. And now you have an icon on the bottom left on the bottom right that shows if you have a Kong partner or not. So you can already see though that they've opted to make these graphics way less detailed, and that's for the better. It helps with readability. It helps with being able to just see in general what you're doing. It's just a good idea all around. The hero coins are still in the game. You've still got the bonus barrels like before. It's all pretty much the same. And Kong letters now properly heal, give you a life instead of used for saving. This song they use everywhere. I don't know why. They have two songs that they could be using instead. Like that Snaky Shanty remix they did for level 1. Yeah, that's the only level they use it on, even though Rattle Battle is still in the game. And that's the level it was made for. But this one has all the same animal buddies from the original game, with the exception of Glimmer, who has been replaced by a barrel. The physics are more in line with what the Super Nintendo version has. But it's just, if I had to describe this game as anything, it's pretty unoriginal. It's also kind of hard. I'm sure if I knew it as well as I did the original trilogy, I would be on top of it, but nah, this game's pretty hard. Yeah, like, we're back here, and why aren't you using the Snaky Shanty music like you did before? There's no new, as far as I can tell, there's 0 new renders for this game. Even that one of Diddy and Dixie on the Game Boy was made for the original game and not for this. But in 1996, people really were just worrying about different things. They were much more interested in the N64. It was gonna come out soon. They were probably more worried about Donkey Kong Country 3 than this game. And of course, unlike the first Donkey Kong Land, you transform into the animal buddies. Oop, there it is. Now when you die with a buddy, when you fall down a pit with a buddy, you now keep both of them. Sure, I'll show that off. Why not? I'm here. It's funny, when I'm not looking for all the bonuses, these levels are actually very short. I forgot what the goal was. I don't actually remember where any of these bonus barrels are, unfortunately. And they're not as easy to find as they were in the first game. Oh, just like in the, so unlike the Super Nintendo version, Cranky and Swanky are completely missing. The only two Kongs you get to help you are Funky and Wrinkly, and Wrinkly saves your game, and Funky lets you move around, so they perform the same function as they did before. And it's just like, this really does feel like, if it wasn't for the fact that Donkey Kong Land 1 exists, they probably would have just called this Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Game Boy. Because it's basically the same game. It's no more different than other games that have the same title but are released for multiple platforms, like Rayman 2. A lot more similar than other mobile versions, looking at Tony Hawk. Oh, yeah. I mean, that Tony Hawk for the Game Boy Advance is dang impressive. Dang, I was scratching my head. The Game Boy Color ones were side view. Yeah. G. Like, oh gosh, this song again. You have different music you guys could be using, you know. Some variety would be nice. How come you only use Snakey Shanty one time? So now you can kill clingers by just kind of jumping into them. It's a strange thing. Something that happens in both this game and in Donkey Kong Land 3 is that if you go inside of a animal barrel to transform, sometimes when you leave the screen and come back, it'll be there again. And if you get in the barrel a second time, you're granted an extra hit point. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the transformation barrel that grants you an extra hit point, like you just got a Kong barrel. You know, a sound effect for that invincibility would have been nice. Oh, that one had another chest inside, did it? I don't know what I just picked up. Alright, well, Funky's still here, and I'll still pay him. Why not? And here's Crow. This one I understand. Making it so that the, all the boss fights use Crocodile Cacophony. That's a much more reasonable, like... That's a much more reasonable change, if you ask me. Bananas for everything, no greedy monkeys wanting gold coins. Heh. I mean, to think, our own flesh and blood wants to charge us money. So this is Creme Cauldron. I presume because they couldn't fit in all the bosses of the game, they decided to combine Crocodile Cauldron and Creme Key. So now this world is double the length of all the others. Hey. Oh my gosh. Now we get Squitter. Squitter is more or less the same as before. However, he can only have one platform out at a time. And you have to press select to turn the shot you make into a platform. It's a decent compromise, but you gotta be quick on your feet. You can't afford to wait around when it comes to Squitter. It is very cumbersome. But there's kind of no other way to do it, I guess. And they unfortunately don't have cannons clanking. I think a Game Boy version of that song would have been really nice. Wow, you know, when I'm not going for everything, this game does go by very quickly. I mean, you saw in my first file, it took me 4.5 hours on my first attempt. And I died a lot. I am a little bit impressed that they managed to get, like, all of the animal buddies to work, more or less. Oop, okay. Well, I guess that's a good time to talk about that. There are a lot of bonus barrels that are literally invisible until you touch them, which is just fantastic, isn't it? No, you didn't really hide it. You just made it invisible. That's not, like, that doesn't mean it's skillful if I find it. That means it's usually luck-based. I think Rayman made invisible flags work, but it's very difficult to get right. I mean, I don't know. I didn't like it in Rayman either. Red Hot Ride. Okay. There we go. If I remember correctly, bouncing on those flitters takes a lot of work and you don't really get anything for it. Well, that was kind of pointless, wasn't it? The sprites do read a lot better than they did in the first game. It's a lot easier to look at that and figure out what Diddy's expression is supposed to be. Like, you can actually see his eyes. Lot less lava cave when it's white and blue. Would it be better in black and white or 4 shades of green? Because those are the only options I get for the Game Boys on Nintendo Online. I mean, if you were playing on Super Game Boy, you would get a background that's a bananas, and I think every area of the game gets a different color palette, which is neat. But For the sake of readability is the main reason I'm deciding to go with this one. Because it colors all of the moving sprites differently from the rest of the game, it allows me to see easier. Oh, there's Kong College. Ugh. I would like to hear a different piece of music now, please. What? Well, I didn't see that zinger before. Wait. Where am I supposed to be going? Oh, up there. I'm having a great time. Oh, I need that. Squawks controls a little bit weirdly compared to DKC2. His movement is a lot more stiff. He falls like a rock, too, making some of the Bramble levels later on kind of difficult. Flappy Bird Blast. Ugh, you're right. Alright, Barrel Bayou. Oh yeah, we've got these barrels that you can just control. They're like the ones in the game properly, but they don't have a timer on them. You can just control them whenever. Bottom of the screen's cut off. Oh, yeah. I can just... That's good. But also, the level names are more or less the same as the original game. There are, like, 2 levels that are different, that have different names. And that's just because they couldn't do the original level's gimmick, so they changed the title of the stage. Ones that I'm actually surprised they managed to keep the gimmicks for are Rickety Race. Haunted Hall does not stay. It becomes this level called Crazy Coaster. Okay, I couldn't see what was to the right of me, so I had to take a guess. Normally they have bananas pointing you in the direction so you can see, but not that time. Here's Glimmer's Galleon. It's pitch black, and you don't have Glimmer. Instead, you have these barrels that light everything up. Honestly, given what they were working with, I mean, it makes sense. You can actually use Unguard here, like in the original level. Ooh, I don't like that effect for when it starts to turn off. It's a little rough on the eyes. Well, that wasn't so bad. Huh. So you might have noticed that Clubba hasn't shown up yet. The way you unlock the Lost World is different in this game compared to the original. Basically, Clubba is on the world map after you complete Crazy Kremland. It's either Crazy Kremland or Gloomy Gulch. You don't actually gain entry into the Lost World unless you have every Krem coin in the game. So it's a one-time payment of like 75. Here's Rattle Battle. Why isn't it using the Rattle Battle music? Why are you using this one? Oh yeah, they do have, all the animal buddies have their secondary abilities, like in the regular game, but, kinda don't need to use them. Can't really think of a time when Unguard or a Rambi had to charge through something. There are still about 40 of these hero coins, too. The level number is almost the same. And there it is, I got another hit point from going into that barrel. Of course. How many times did you say you've played this? 3 times. Once when I was a kid, I played it on my... No, when I was in high school, rather. I would get emulators for my iPad. Then I got it again on my 3DS, and I beat it there. And most recently, in preparation for this stream, I did a playthrough of it. I was hoping that I would be able to, like, keep in mind all of the bonus barrel locations in time for this, but I actually couldn't. Which is why I'm doing it this way. Did your school give you an iPad? I actually was given an iPad, and we were allowed to keep them, but I was the only year in my school. That was the first year in the school they did that, and then after that, students had to pay for their own. I went to a private school. Never know how long after I finish they started doing things like that. Well, I have younger siblings, so there we go. Jeez Louise. Of course, you went to school. You went to school in Assyria during the days of Ashurbanipal. Of course. Clay tablets. Whoops. At this rate, I'm probably going to finish the game faster than I finished the first Donkey Kong Country. I went to drink water and I had my hand on the wrong button. You can't change it from being B and A for some reason. As much as I would love to make it Y and B. Especially for a game like this. I did it again. That's the same zinger, too. You just can't adequately see what's coming up, and it requires a lot more memorization than the original. I'm never gonna not jump into that guy, am I? Anyway, my iPad when I had the iPad, that was also back in the day when you could actually get emulators on your devices without jailbreaking it. Now I think it's impossible on an Apple device. Besides, at this point, what use do I have for it? I've got all of the games on many different systems, including this one, which is already portable, right? So I don't even need it. I have the original cartridges. I have it on 3DS. I don't need it on my iPad to play with touch controls. Because I'm sure that's what we all want. Everyone loves playing with touch controls and a virtual D-pad. Bunch of emulators in the Apple Store. Oh, are there? Okay, I haven't really looked. I just know they used to crack down real hard on them. Well, I'm missing the G. And we don't have Cudgel, we have Cleaver, which for some reason Cleaver is at the top of a sunken ship. Didn't bother with the hand. I mean, it's Game Boy. There we go. There we go. 4 hits and he's dead. You can also see I'm not being awarded a Creme coin for beating him. I'm only getting banana coins. Did you get bananas in DKC 2? No, you got Creme coins for beating bosses in DKC 2. So before I realized that the Switch Online app actually had different color options, I played through the entire thing of the first one and 2 in green and black. And I'm like, man, I wish I could have something different to look at than just green and black. This is way easier on the eyes. I'm impressed that they managed to bring over Flight of the Zingers so well. It's not a song you'd think would work on Game Boy. Target Terror. All of these roller coaster ones are pretty easy. Whoops. Yeesh. Oh, right, I remember that one. So you might have noticed in the last world that we actually didn't get Bramble Blast. They actually stuck both of the Bramble levels from Krem Key and Crazy Kremland into Crazy Kremland. Found that. These levels are aggravating because you can't see where the next barrel is, so you have to rely on bananas that go away if you get sent back or fall down or something. But hey, at least the barrel blasting is a lot more fun than it was in the original Donkey Kong Land. Dang. The new Bramble Blast level in Bonanza looks pretty fun. I like that we're still getting some classic Donkey Kong Country in there. Oof. Well, that wasn't so bad. Oh my gosh, I got real lucky there, didn't I? There we go. You have to mess up pretty bad to ruin Sticker Bush Symphony. So, I know some people really don't like the Brawl version of Sticker Bush Symphony. This is still rickety race as it ever was, although you do have to, you have less cutlasses to get in front of this time. Nope. Knocked him off. There we go. One. And, you know, that's the same thing that happened last time. You miss that jump, you just die. Whoops. Is that the one that's all pizzicato heavy? It's the one that's got like the violin backbeat and it kind of sounds like His World from Sonic 06. But yeah, oh, it's got pizzicato at the beginning. Yes, it does. It's more energetic, but that's to be expected because, you know, it's a fighting game. Dang it. Oh, sorry. Received a message I had to check real quick. There we go. You still got a DK coin for winning. Alright, and now we got Bramble Scramble, the other level. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I was quickly replying to that message I just got. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, I'm stupid. I always thought Crook was one of the funnier Kremlings. I think they messed up. I think they messed up Dixie's sprite. Because it looks like that. Yeah, there's a pixel gap in between where the end of the rope sprite is and the beginning of Dixie's hands. Let's try that again. Alright, let's try that one more. Let's take our time a little bit, shall we? Rushing was never good for anyone. Dang it. Well, I made it to this part. But yeah, you gotta be real careful here. The hitbox for Squawks is bigger than it looks, and those brambles are nasty business. Where's the checkpoint? Okay, just went backwards for no reason. There we are. Just looking for that. Oh, gosh. So at this point, today, we are now 15 days away from Bonanza, with only 2 weeks to go. I'm very excited. This is the most ocean-defying minecart I ever did see. Oh, you were talking about... Well, that's not a minecart. That was a roller coaster. Different. Action park moment. Action park. Oh. Alright. I will gladly take this. This is not Forest Interlude. This is Sticker Bush Symphony. I mean, it does sound pretty good. Did you hear the new remix of Sticker Bush Symphony that they got in Bonanza? Everyone's sharing that clip around. Oh, thank goodness. So what should be left? I think it's just Mudhole Marsh and then Ramby Rumble. The absolutely massive heights that the camera moves away from the ground always throws me off, because I'm never quite sure where it is below me when the camera moves that high. I mean, that's why they use bananas smartly to tell you where the floor is. But you're just missing so much screen real estate. I took a gamble on that being a flitter. It was not. It was a zinger. Wait, I didn't see a checkpoint barrel anywhere. I must have missed it by gliding over it. I don't need this. I'm not getting the bonuses anyway. The mini Neki actually got me killed, because I was expecting it to move. Okay, no, I actually got the bonus. Yeah, they don't really give you much of a warning. There's no sound cue either. Some bananas to guide me to the ground there would have been really nice, methinks. And misinterpreted where they would fall. Alright, switching back to Dixie. Ay, okay. It's because I can't see the ground. Where's the floor? Is it supposed to punish me for trying to go over? Well, I mean, I guess it's working. Well, now I can't. I don't have a choice. gosh dang it, you did it again! How did I mess it up? Ah. The timing on that last mini-necky is different than the first two. What the? Ha 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 ha. I'm gonna lose all my lives doing this. There we go. Can we move the camera down a smidgen? Jeez Louise, man. Like, I would rather the camera follow the ground than follow me. Because if I can't, because I can figure out where I'm gonna move based on my position when I left the ground. If I can't see where I'm gonna land, then I can't see. Alright. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, the screen is also minuscule. So you're not given much real estate to begin with. I need to be really careful. I'm down to my last life. Well, my second to last life. I lost them all on Mudhole Marsh. I mean, I guess if I die again, I should just save at Wrinkly's. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. You fall faster than the screen moves down with you. So, yeah. If you don't hit the ground fast enough, you fall below the screen and die. At least it's not as bad as in the first Donkey Kong Land, but it's still pretty bad. Alright, now we're Ramby. I forget if King Zing still chases you. Okay, no, he doesn't. Alright, we got out of there with our skin. Do you have any of the Crash or Spyro GBA games? No, actually, I don't. I don't have either. King Zing. Where is he? There he is. So he doesn't shoot stingers at you anymore, but during the later phases, he will instead drop zingers behind him. I saw the Cat Icarus videos on the Crash ones, and those are pretty quality games, all things considered. I gotta be careful. Whew! It's really fast on that last one. Okay. Alright, yeah, it's in between Gloomy Gulch and K-Rool's Keep when you get to see Clubba. And he charges 75. So this uses the swamp music, Bayou Boogie. So we don't get Forest Interlude in this game, actually. Yeah, I could use a life or two. There we go. Well, that was easy enough. Anyway, here's the replacement for Haunted Hall, Crazy Coaster. I assume because they didn't want to put in, they didn't or couldn't fit in a whole nother tile set just for one level. They decided to make it a regular roller coaster level instead. I mean, honestly, I don't blame them. Well, in case you need to save, there's always two banana coins right there. If we were doing this, I think it would have made the background less obviously Kremland. It's a Game Boy game. This is obviously not as important as the flagship title. Could have probably just assigned... Although I suppose you're right, you could have probably just assigned it the background from the forest levels. Oh, you mean for all coaster levels. Ah, Gusty Glade. You know what I love? Wind. There it is. I would assume you might be able to assign backgrounds, but you know, I'm looking at this and I'm pretty sure there are no backgrounds for these levels. It looks like the background is just blank, and everything else may be tied to the tile set. Man, could you imagine playing Donkey Kong Country 2 on Virtual Boy like they intended? Probably would be, I mean, that would definitely be way worse than this. And what would, like, the benefit even be? Ugh, I would have had to play and talk about that version, wouldn't I? It would have also definitely been the most sought-after Virtual Boy game if it got made. Yeah, and Nintendo will never really do Virtual Boy emulation stuff on anything. Would be nice if they did, though. Oh my gosh. I almost died. Well, they just gave you that one. Wow, really? If you were to come up with something for DK coins to do or unlock, what would that be? What if when you got all the DK coins, you could unlock a special mode that lets you play through the whole game as Donkey and Dixie instead? Right? I think that would be really cool, as if you could unlock DK. Having an extra playable character in a game like this would change a lot. I gotta be real careful. As soon as I jump, is it gonna switch? No, okay, good. Son of a gun, you did it again! How do they keep doing it to me? There we go. Parrot shoot panic. Unlocking DK, but it requires beating the game 200%. Well, this game doesn't have 200%, so I guess I'd be fine with that. I like the idea I kind of like the idea of the DK coins just being there to get Cranky's approval. He's like, if you can get all these, then you might be a real hero after all. He finally recognizes DK and Diddy as heroes, but Dixie in 3? Even after she beats the game, Cranky is like, I don't really care. Getting literally everything else but 0 DK coins. That might be harder than just... That might be harder than getting them all. Although I guess in this game they're not called DK coins, they're called Cranky's Video Game Hero Tokens or something like that. He put them there just to test you. Mean old fart. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I will actually be quite happy when we're done with the Game Boy. And we can finally move on away from it. Because these games, they're fun enough, but they don't hold a candle to the main releases, you know? They just don't. They're a bit janky, they're a bit weird. I would say they're probably worth playing if you're a fan. But, like, it's kind of a slog, these. At least Donkey Kong Land 1 is definitely worth playing. Mostly because it's actually an original game. Webwoods. Finally, a DK barrel. Okay, rude. Oh, a 1-up. I like when there's 1-ups. Makes me happy. Alright, now we got Squitter. You do have plenty of time to bail and jump to the next platform at least, but it's a little annoying that you only get one. I really don't think it would have killed them to be able to have 2 on screen. But then again, what do I know? Really not a whole lot going on. You're just kind of slowly making your way across. You know, it's been so long. I don't even know what I don't even remember like what Cranky says if you don't even place on the podium at the end of the game. I mean, I know what he says if you, like, almost make it, like, when you beat the game with all the DK coins, you can get up to that point. But I don't know what he says if you don't even beat Link. Alright, that was Web Woods. Now it's time for Creepy Crow. I love that sprite for Crow. It's so bad. Could have at least lightened his colors or something. He's exactly the same. I mean, you do have the limitations of the Game Boy to consider here. You only got 4 colors to work with. And they're using 3 of them. Wow, okay. Move everything 1 shade lighter. I wonder how much of that is just the way that the Game Boy Color mode renders it. Oh my gosh. Looks like I'll have to save pretty soon if I can't get this down. I mean, saving before the boss and saving after the boss, it's really not that different. Mistimed it. And I didn't jump off of the rope! Hello! Well, we've got one more attempt before I have to go save. I knew it. Alright, well now I have to save. Shame, I'm about to run out of lives. I mean, I suppose I could go back and farm for more. I wonder if I can jump over him. Oh, I can. And it's not even hard. Shoot, then I could just wait. I forgot it's only 2 phases. Alright, there's Clubba. Which, you know, I guess I could show him all. No, we're gonna see him when I go... We're gonna see him when I go there, on the other file. Here, just save the game. K-Rules Keep. Arctic Abyss. Well, I'm glad we got in a snowbound land. Okay. Aquatic ambience? No. In a snowbound land. Hey, we got a 1-up for bringing Unguard all the way there. Wait a minute. Oop. I had a feeling that going back for that DK barrel would kill me. Get the feeling David Wise liked New Age. I'm not familiar with New Age as a genre. Mannheim Steamroller, Enya. I don't know either of those. So rude to put a Spiny right near the end. Well, at least Wrinkly is right here. Only Time? Is that a song or a band? And no, I don't know it. Okay. Oh, that one! Okay, yes, I do know that one. I didn't know it by its name. That's Enya. Alright. Okay. Thanks. Well, at least they gave me another one immediately afterwards. N. Oh wow, I actually almost have all of them. That's not usual for me. Ooh. Nice. Alright. Dungeon Danger. This replaces Castle Crush. This is a weird level. It's organized with several levels that you go up and down via chains. I mean, I guess the idea is the same. It's a vertically focused castle level. Not a bad rendition of Crook's March, either. I'll get the O, why not? Oh, I didn't get the K? Never mind then, I don't need any more letters. Well, I ended up getting all the letters except K by accident. Cool. With a K, of course. Uh-oh. Okay, never mind, we're good. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna keep falling, aren't I? Well, up we go. What are you expecting for tomorrow? What are firework laws like in Toontown? Dang it! I was reading the message and I got hit. Well, I mean, there's the fireworks factory, of course, which goes off at any and all hours of the day on normally, so who's to say? I mean, explosives just go off all the time. But you hear a couple of people getting ready before the event actually occurs, right? That's always the case. Oh my gosh. How did I make that jump? I keep missing the jumps. Come on. And that was the end of the level, too. I had already made it basically to the end. Clapper's Cavern. Alright, this one has a really, really mean thing. It's a really, really mean slide that I don't like. I can't seem to get it consistently. Never mind, I got it. Oh my gosh. It's really tight is the problem. Ooh. Just whatever, just go. There, a checkpoint. Jeez. I'm playing very fast and loose here. Of course there's a zinger right under there. Just wait for the cruncher to move. There we go. Come on. Get out. Oh my gosh. That was really tight. Wait. Tomorrow's not the 4th. Tomorrow's the 3rd. We're not really doing much for anything on... We're not doing much for 4th of July anyway. We're just gonna probably have some hot dogs and burgers and whatever. But I will be playing Donkey Kong Land 3 on that day. The most patriotic game I can think of. I literally couldn't see that Neek before I literally didn't see that first Neek before I jumped on it. If I was just unlucky enough, I would have... Okay. If I was unlucky enough, I would have totally just ran into it. Visibility is a huge problem. Well, guess I'm saving the game now. You gotta just inch forward, slowly, because you never know what you're gonna run into. You know, when I play the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy, I don't memorize the location of every single enemy in the game. I have a general idea of where some enemies might be, but for the most part, I'm just kind of reacting to what's on screen. I can't do that with this. You gotta take it either extremely slowly or have, like, great memory. Wow, nothing in there. I thought for sure there would be an invisible bonus barrel. Because we've already seen that they could just be invisible. Alright, checkpoint. Alright. I can't see what's below me at all. I got lucky there, I guess. Ah! How am I supposed to react to that? Non-cereal corn pops. What do you mean? Dang it. I knew they'd try to get me right before the end of the level. So it's like a sweet corn... It's a sweet puffed corn chip, is what you're telling me. Toxic Tower. Oh boy. And there it is. Well, I saved right before this, so... only so much I can realistically do. Well, there's the game over. The first one we've seen, pretty much the first one we've seen, like, in all the times I've streamed Donkey Kong games. But, you know what? It worked out. I saved right before that level. So everything is more or less the same. They're worth showing off, TBH. You think so? Well, Donkey Kong Land 1's is just the, is just that picture from Country where they're both bandaged up with the death music from Donkey Kong Country 1. I may show off Donkey Kong Country 3's because if you get a game over in DKC 3, you can have a funny little thing you can play. Can't see where I'm going. So, I realized way later, Donkey Kong Country 2's game over screen is supposed to be that they got captured and they're in, like, prison. That's what the grate on the wall is. But I thought that grate meant that they were in a furnace, and when it turned red, that it meant they turned them on and they were gonna burn them to death. I just rolled with it. Because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. They're pirates. DKC 3's, I imagine if you're like a kid, it can be a little freaky, but it's really not like, it's just Dixie and Kitty in a crib. Like, yeah. It's by far the most innocuous. But, like, the grate on the wall, it's supposed to be a window, but it looks to me like the grate on a furnace. Terrible fate. I know! Pretty dark, actually. But to be fair, DKC 2 is substantially darker than the first game. Even if just by the tiniest... Well, it's not, like, dark. But, you know, the things are more serious. The environments are more dangerous. We're going into enemy territory. K. Rool's starting to become, like, a crazed madman. Getting hit with the anti-piracy that's implying, hey kid, that's gonna be you. I'm a little sad that anti-piracy has turned into another creepypasta thing. Because I think it's interesting when... Because usually the point of anti-piracy measures are just to hold off the... You know, usually the point of anti-piracy measures is to hold off the pirater, I guess that's the pirate, long enough so that they can make their sales and don't have to worry about illegitimate copies flooding the market. So, scaring them doesn't really do anything. Now, the ones that actually do make changes to the game, I think are a little more nefarious, because it doesn't stop the pirate. Because as far as the pirate's concerned, they start up the game, they start running around. If the thing that actually is the anti-piracy measure, if it detects that it's a pirated copy, doesn't start happening until, like, a few hours in, well then the only person that punishes is the person who might have gotten duped into buying a pirated copy. Like in Spyro 3, where it prevents you from saving after a while. Yeah, better give me some lives for that. Alright, time for Stronghold Showdown. It is the exact same thing. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. Let me just save my game. I've only got one token. There's a few good things with generally like the Mario Party DS one. I think the Mario Party DS one is interesting because it's ultimately just a regular piracy screen. There's really nothing crazy going on with it. And they send this little message saying, don't pirate, etc. That's the sort of thing that you would see in a real anti-piracy measure. But, like, I saw somebody make one for the Wii channels, and when you loaded up the weather channel, it said that there was a red sun, and it was like 1 billion degrees, and it's like, well, what is that gonna do? First of all, people barely used the weather channel. It was interesting that it came with the system, but let's be honest with ourselves, nobody used it. Really, the point, you know, because the point of the message is just to say, we know you're pirating, knock it off, you know, play a legitimate copy or get a legitimate one and stop pirating. And that's all it needs to do. Because if they go out of their way to put in an anti-piracy measure, that's just stuff that that's just time that they didn't need to spend doing that, you know? They know they can't, I mean, most companies know that they will never be able to completely defeat pirates. I don't think it's realistic to assume that even most people who play pirated copies are unaware. Well, no, I suppose not, but there must be somebody who maybe bought it secondhand from somebody who maybe isn't scrupulous. Anyway, we got Run Ramby Run instead of Bad Bird Rag here. Well, you know what, though? On eBay, you see these Chinese repros. That's more or less piracy. And I'm sure lots of people have been fooled by those. I mean, I almost got fooled by one of those before canceling my order. What does the Earthbound one do? I know the Spiral one prevents you from saving, but what does the Earthbound one do? Ramps up difficulty and deletes your save file. Oh. Kind of reminds me, in Banjo-Kazooie, if you use enough cheat codes that unlock worlds, Gruntilda will actually delete your save file. That's not piracy, but it is interesting. Oh, I made it. Well, there we go. So, in the regular Donkey Kong Country 2, when you get here in at the end of the game, instead of the save being free here, it costs 1 coin, and then it goes back to its normal price of 2 coins. Why are you charging me 1 coin? Anyway, as you might expect, this boss fight is a lot easier than the regular one. Oh, okay. That's it. And he just explodes when he hits the ground. Well, I got more than Link did. Really? I thought Link got like 19. I guess they didn't put Link's sprite in here, and you're always third if you didn't win. That's the main adventure of Donkey Kong Land 2. It really is a poor man's Donkey Kong Country 2, and that's a shame, because the first game really did do interesting stuff. It made it feel like it was a lot more tailor-made for the Game Boy. It really, it just feels better. Oh my gosh. So I'm looking at, I just checked Twitter real quick. Perfect Dark got canceled. Everwild got canceled. There was an unannounced Banjo-Kazooie game in development that also got canceled. Isn't this fantastic? When? Apparently, like, recently. Basically, Microsoft shut down the company that was working on Perfect Dark. And they fired a bunch of people from Rare, so they're not working on Everwild anymore. I guess they're just gonna stick to, working on Sea of Thieves. Man, Rare, what happened to you? Now they don't make anything, you know? croc heads. Oh. They include that one sprite where they're not in the water. That one frame, rather. Oh, this was... I forgot to mention the entire time. This was Grant Kirkhope's first game at Rare. This is the first one he did music for. Right there. He ported the music to this game, and that was his first credit. All right. So if you have been somebody who had a large stockpile of coins and lives up to that point, I'm sorry. They are gone. But let's enter the Lost World and check it out. So you pay one large sum of 75 tokens right at the beginning, and then you just play all the levels in order. They don't have Primal Rave. Instead, we get Sticker Bush Symphony, which is an interesting way of doing it. I don't know what song I would have used instead, considering they cut so many. Whoops. And this level's got a different name. No, never mind. This is still Jungle Jinx. One of the levels got their names changed because they didn't bring in the gimmick. I can't remember which one, though. Dang it. I need a DK barrel. Oh, right. There's one right there. There we go. Now I feel a lot more safe. And secure. Ooh, hello. Well, not that I need to save, because even if I get a game over, I already finished it, so I could just continue from where I left off. You also might notice that it says 100% instead of 101 or 102, like Donkey games like to do. Like Donkey Kong games like to do, excuse me. Black Ice Battle, Fiery Furnace, Clobber Carnage. Oh no, all the animal names, all the level names are the same, excuse me. Oh, this level. This level's fine in the regular game, but I'm really not a big fan of it here, because this game's got a problem with going down. And this level's all about going down. And, yeah, going down is not very fun in this game. Hello? Okay, a bonus barrel. I already did this, so I'll just skip it. Getting up to the checkpoint pretty soon. There we go. Perfect. So the Donkey Kong Bonanza hype has had some of the most theories I think I've seen for a regular Nintendo release. Like, not Smash Bros. People theorize about Smash Bros. Okay, see that? I could literally have never seen that zinger. There was no way for me to see that that zinger was coming up. And I just have to go by the seat of my pants. Anyways, I've never seen as much theorizing and hypothesizing for a game like Bonanza before. Although I guess it's because the Donkey Kong fan base is just ravenous for anything to bring back some of their fan favorite characters. Everybody wants K. Rool to come back. They want to see if they want to see if, like, the other Kongs are going to be in the game, or if it's just going to be Dixie, Diddy, and Cranky. I think I'm kind of leaning towards K. Rool is not in this one. Like, I don't know. I just got a feeling. Question is if Nintendo will notice. Well, they must have noticed that the people wanted K. Rool in Smash. Like, that must be some sort of indication that they like the guy, right? I mean, I know it was 7 years ago, but still. Some people were taking that the K. Rool amiibo works in Bonanza as indication that he's in the game, but I don't know, man. I think that's a stretch. I mean, the Skylanders amiibo doesn't work. But it is pretty funny how all the old amiibo works, and DK's got a different design in all of them except for the new one. Alright. Alright, well, don't do that, I guess. Okay, that one spins too. Oh, wait, no, that one doesn't spin. That one affects... Okay, that one's affected by me. Sorry. Never mind, it does spin. What the heck? Well, I wouldn't have it to these new levels. Yes, this is the Lost World. I'm playing it on my completed file. Okay. We're almost at the end. Never mind. Ah, gosh. And at least I don't gotta worry about, you know, like I said, I don't gotta worry about getting a game over since this is my finished file, but still. Skip it. Skip the game over! Thank you. I think it is interesting, though, that it starts you on the world map every time you turn the game on. There we go. Did it first try that time. Alright, we're back here. Just stay close to the bottom. You at least know where the ground is then. There we go. That's better. Must be close. There it is. Alright. Clobber Carnage. I think... Do they still have kabooms in this one? I'm trying to recall. Please tell me you respawn. Well... Yeah, there we go. So we still have lots of barrel focus, but it's not the same kind of barrel. I didn't hit the checkpoint yet? Oh, well, that sucks. There we go. Alright, now we've hit the checkpoint. Sometimes it feels like I hit a Kremling that I shouldn't have, and other times it feels like I've absolutely hit them, but it just doesn't want to work. Don't know why. That went way too far. Those are very mean locations for that kaboing. Like, why is it right there? Okay, sure. Alright. Let me just... Yeah. There we go. Well, with only one with only one level left, Animal Antics. This is way easier than the console versions of Animal Antics. Okay. Thanks for all these enemies coming out of nowhere. It's still happening. I really thought by this point we'd be past this. You know what? I'm reversing that. Because it just refused to work. There we go. Finally. And that's it, just 3 animals. Not even squawks. Way easier than the console version, my goodness. Anyway, final boss time, for real now. Yep, that keeps happening. There we go. Alright, well, that's the end. And they blow up Crocodile Isle again. And it's gone. For real. And K. Rool doesn't escape this time. And that was Donkey Kong Land 2. The most pointless of the 3 handheld Donkey Kong games. We've already seen this, so I'm just gonna go past it. Alright, well, with that all said and done, tomorrow we will be beginning and concluding Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. I'll be seeing you guys all then as we continue our Bonanza Marathon. Have yourselves a very good afternoon and a good night, and that's all, folks.